Hi guys, so I do understand that Boris Johnson does not have the ability to undo climate change, but as leader of the government for whatever time is left, if he is actually going to leave, he has a certain responsibility. He has a responsibility to go to important meetings that are hosted by members of the civil service, listen to what's been discussed there, and present advice to the public. Well, Boris Johnson doesn't seem to be interested in doing that, and his acolytes, his supporters within government, are pretty pathetic when they attempt to defend that. Have a listen to this.
And where was he this weekend, Mr. Malthouse?
I don't know his exact whereabouts. I briefed him by
Oh, I can tell you. He was at Chequers having a party.
Right. Oh, yes. Sorry, I did read that in the media. Yes.
Just think about that for a moment. Government minister doesn't know where the heck Boris Johnson is. You should know where Boris Johnson is. This is important. And he's saying, first of all, obviously he lied here because he said, no, I don't know where Boris Johnson is. And then, oh yes, I read it in the media. Really, this is, you didn't know where Boris Johnson is, that's not a problem for you. And then the fact that you read about it in the media. So the public know where Boris Johnson is, the media know where Boris Johnson is, but a government minister doesn't. During a very important moment.
There he is. So while the country was preparing for its worst heat wave in a generation, the Prime Minister was having a party at Chequers.
Well, I have to tell you, having chaired Cobra on Saturday and then briefed the Prime Minister at 8 a.m. on Sunday, I did have some of my family around for lunch in my constituency on Sunday lunchtime as well.
I know, but you're not Prime Minister, sir, are you? I mean, do you think that the Prime Minister just...
No, you're not the Prime Minister. We don't give a crap about you. We care about what Boris Johnson should be doing. Like, why is Boris Johnson still there? He's not doing anything. He's not working. He's having a wonderful time. Shouldn't he leave immediately and have a caretaker government? Or call elections or something? What is the point in having Boris Johnson there? Really, can somebody answer that question? Because he's not actually doing anything.
Kind of decided, he's going to be leaving the job pretty soon anyway, so there's no point in him paying attention and being part of these very important meetings.
No, as I say, that's completely unfair. We communicated on the Saturday or Friday as well. And then, as I say, I briefed him at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. So he's right across this. I think this is a very unfair characterization of the media around this particular...
How is it unfair that Boris Johnson is having a party at Chequers during a crisis? This is very serious. It's likely that temperatures will reach close to 40 or maybe 40 degrees. People will not be able to survive. Some people will not survive that. It's government responsibility. It's a responsibility of government to provide accurate information to the public, giving them advice. In the same way that when during the pandemic, Boris Johnson came out, explained the number of people who had explained what people need to do to protect themselves during the pandemic. He explained how many, he gave information about how many people died, how many people were in hospital. That was a good approach, explaining to the public what's happening. Why isn't he doing it now? Is it because he doesn't want to piss off people who don't believe that there's actually a problem?
Issue, right? It's my job to chair Cobra. It's my job to coordinate across government and then to be accountable to him, which is exactly what I did yesterday morning when I briefed him.
I mean, the point I'm making, Ms. Martin, it goes to leadership, doesn't it? And you would have thought that when we're facing something like this, the leader of the country would want to be in the meeting so he can perhaps lead our response.
Well, look, the Prime Minister has to deal with lots of things on a daily basis. That's why he...
Like organising parties.
Like organising parties. He's doing nothing at the moment. What has Boris Johnson been doing since he, quote-unquote, resigned? He's not leading. He's just spinning his wheels. He's taking advantage of the cushy job he has at the moment before he leaves, if he's actually going to leave. This is pathetic. There is a real crisis, and Boris Johnson is having a party. What is it with the Tories and having parties during crises? During the pandemic, having parties. During this crisis, where there is a real risk to environmental damage and risk to people's lives, where is Boris Johnson having a party? Pathetic. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.